want to go to New York. Now, I read this and I'm like, what is this man doing? Mamdani. We need to do a weekly Mamdani report. So it says here, sometimes I can't stand the New York Post. Let me make this bigger. Oh, it's good. Black New York homeowners blast Mamdani's radical tenant advocate Cea Weaver. White supremacy, question mark. I'm not white. So it says Black New York homeowners are stunned by Mayor Zohran Mamdani's radical left tenant advocate Cea Weaver, who claimed property ownership is a weapon of white supremacy and should be abolished, insisting it's an essential element of Black wealth and that her comments devalue their participation in the American dream. White supremacy, question mark. I'm not white, said Renee Gregory, president of brownstones of Bedford-Stuyvesant, Inc., which was founded in 1978 to help keep Black homeowners in the historic Black neighborhoods. I read Weaver's comments. I don't know where they come from, explaining that the 37-year-old's past comments have become the talk of Black brownstones in the neighborhood. Private property. Let me make sure I didn't pass. Weaver's inflammatory hot takes were found in archive X posts. Okay. Private property, including any kind of, especially home ownership, is a weapon of white supremacy, she said in a 2019 post.
What the hell is that?
Right. Private property, including any kind of, especially home ownership, is a weapon of white supremacy. Home ownership is racist, failed public policy. She also wrote advocating for a collective ownership and shared equity of property in the future.
That sounds like communism.
Right. But many Black New Yorkers think Weaver, a middle-class white woman who attended pricey private college, what's this? Barnard College NYU, doesn't know.
Oh my God, how exclusive can you get?
Right. Doesn't know the first thing about what they need. And they have ma'am's racist crime. So this is her. Oh my God. She looks. Ugh.
Guess what I bet she is.
Home ownership is essentially element of Black wealth. It's repugnant to attach yourself. Repugnant to attach yourself to policies that will look to devalue home ownership. Marlon Rice, who was running for Democrat primary 25th District, Brooklyn. We should be fortifying pathways to home ownership, he said, echoing comments from a recent Substack where he told how he was raised in a stable home because his father was able to buy a brownstone in 1978. By the way, these brownstones that Black people bought back then, and hopefully they didn't sell it, they're worth over $2 million now. Talk about generational wealth. Purchasing his home was a tool to help uplift his family out of poverty, not a tool of white supremacy. Many Black homeowners in Bedford-Stuyvesant, a predominantly Black neighborhood, agreed, sounding off about Weaver's declaration, which deemed foolish.
I have a brief reply to what that fools, not the guy that's talking about the Black ownership, but the Mamdani official.
Yeah, Weaver.
It's too goddamn stupid and asinine a remark to deserve a reply.
To say that home ownership is white supremacy.
Yes. That is too goddamn stupid to deserve a reply.
And see, they're trying to use white supremacy as an excuse to usher in communist socialism.
And see, that's not going any damn where. Do you expect the seat of American and world economics, stock exchange, the finances of the country to tolerate that kind of bullshit for long? It's like people are looking, I don't really believe this. This is really true. George, is this really happening? Good Lord, how did we let this happen?
But you know what
Take care of this.
you know what the white supremacy is these liberal lover lunatics who come from wealth, who come from, the upper class, trying to tell black people or poor people what's best for them. See, that's what white liberal women love to do. They like to tell you what's best for you as if you don't know what's best for you. It says here the population of Brooklyn suburb, and I know suburb, is 41% black, according to the census data, which is more than double the rate in New York as a whole. It makes no sense. 77-year-old Dulcelia Joseph, Trinidadian immigrant who came to the U.S. in 1988 and used to work 7 days a week so she could buy her Bed-Stuy apartment 11 years ago. It is a blessing to own a home. This is like a rich neighborhood. I am a poor woman living in a rich neighborhood. Because I'm not rich, I don't have money. The money is the house.
Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Now, Philip Solomon, 51 years old, owned a Green Avenue brownstone in Bedford-Stuyvesant for 17 years. He called Weaver's comment illogical. Oh my God. I don't want to believe that that's what she intended to say. Well, y'all people voted for him. I grew up watching a Cosby and looking at a brownstone on national television. It gave me the idea that one day I could have a home in New York City. In a way, this kind of a dream realized. So again, what? Who are these people he's appointing in these positions?
See, you get what you ask for.
Right.
And you go, see, remember what I said before, said it often. In the American system, you get the representation you deserve. And if your representation is shit, that's because you're acting like you're shit.
Exactly.
God. Did they have any clue as to what they were doing would lead to?
See, that's why they should have stuck with Eric Adams. See, Americans think that, socialism is good because everything's so expensive, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, you got to understand to where you don't want socialism. And this is why Americans as a whole are not fully educated. You never want socialism. What you really want is for the current republic that we have to implement changes that's going to benefit everyone, because corporations are considered a person, but we need policies that are going to help the American people. Keep it to be the republic, keep it to be capitalist, but policies that will help the American people. What Trump is doing with the housing and the credit card caps, that's a start. It helps the middle class. That's what you want. You don't want communism.
Well, let me say this. Great Britain experimented with socialism after World War II. I don't know why, but they did, and it flopped. And we have the preeminent experiment with the government becoming socialist, and it did not work. And you know what that was? The National Socialist Workers' Party became extreme in a Western country. It ran everything. It was known for censorship, oppression, genocide, torture, and everything you can think wrong about collective humanity. The initials for the National Socialist Workers' Party are well known today because what they spell in German is Nazi. That's the acronym for the National Socialist Workers' Party. It's known as Nazi. We had World War II because of those bastards. And they are poison, and these fools are trying to resurrect it again.
Thank you, the Retail Trader. Actually, you should do a show on this, the Retail Trader. I think this would be good. I'm going to email you the article. But thank you so much for the super chat. He says, how will New York house the thousands of low-income people needed to maintain the commercial business in the city?
They can't.
Right. Solutions implemented are always superior than opinions when it comes to operations.
And National Socialism didn't work. And when it's hooked up with censorship, when it's hooked up with suppression of free speech, when it's hooked up with gun control, when it's hooked up with using the law to oppress, known as lawfare, that's the process they call it now, it's horrible. That leads to fascism. And that's exactly what we have right now is a resurrection of the ghost of Nazism, National Socialist Workers Party.
Thank you. The retail trader again says, y'all told me in 25 that Trump was going to use tariffs to bring Manu back to the U.S. Is that still a thing, or has that narrative been tabled?
To bring what back?
I think Mandora. I think he meant Mandora, Manu.
Well, they got him.
And
they went and they enforced the law. See, once you get a warrant on somebody, an indictment pending, you don't have to be nice to get them back. You can hog tie them and drag them back. And they did that. And the precedent is Noriega, Panama. The precedent is Cuba, Cuban Missile Crisis, and Kennedy, Khrushchev, who, by the way, was from Ukraine. And what happened? You had the embargo of the importation of goods into Cuba, the blockade, the Cuban blockade. You had all sorts of things like that. You had the Spanish-American War, Mexican-American War. You had all of these things. You had what went on in the Philippines before.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Let me read. Thank you for clarifying that. He says, the MAU mean manufacturing. He said, y'all told me in 25 that Trump was going to use tariffs to bring back manufacturing back to the U.S. Is that still a thing, or has?
Yeah, it is. See, what the deal is we had a high tariff system that ensured that America became the preeminent industrial country in the world by the time World War II started. After World War II, Europe was flattened, Asia was flattened, and we changed our whole tariff structure so that we could build Europe and Asia back up so we could sell goods to them. Well, we fell asleep and didn't pay attention to what we had put in motion. So what wound up happening is enterprising folk started stripping the United States of manufacturing capacity and taking it overseas where the labor costs were very low and the profits were very high. And what they wound up doing was utilizing that circumstance for enormous profitability, which wound up dropping the educational system down to where it is now, wound up reducing the American manufacturing situation down to where it is now, and reduced the status of the American worker to where it is now, so that certain people are getting very, very much wealth in their bank accounts and in their investment portfolios, and the ordinary person in the country doesn't quite know what the devil is going on, because instead of paying attention to how badly they're getting ripped off, they're paying more attention to what the communications industry is helping the entertainment industry and the news industry put out to negatively propagandize the people of this country so they don't know what the hell they're up to.
Mm-hmm. One second.
By the way, I went to a place I hadn't been nearby for years, and it was a great place called Bryant's. It's won all kinds of awards for best breakfast around. And when I went in there, people white and black and everything else were walking up to me, talking about thank you for what you and I do on this production here. and the other one is on Thursday. So they were saying thank you. We need to hear that.
Injustice for all, your injustice for all.
Yeah, and they say they really appreciate being able to hear that.
Yeah.